Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Godspeed. Bump the mic a little. Uh, Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Godspeed. As you can see right now, I'm struggling to type the name. I might change the name of this world. I don't know, but Godspeed's Domain is a good name. I think. I'm not sure. Just looking at the world settings right now, I'll probably increase the speed of this part because there's no need to show you everything. The main things that I am putting on the world is the gravestone add-on. I took that off because guess what? I think I'm gonna do a hardcore world. I don't need to have that. But I will be using actions and stuff and the uncrafting items add-on. This is actually the second attempt I'm making for creating a world because the first attempt I tried to make the world. I was in the world and it had let's see if it flashes on the screen real quick. It what was it? What was it? It was the looky tool, I believe is what it's called. The looky tool. Yeah, I had it on a previous world. I didn't know exactly what it did. It's supposed to put a item in your hand every time you look at a block. You're gonna just automatically go to that tool. That's how I thought it would work. Yeah, it's even more cheated than that. So I decided to take it off. Every time you look at a block, anything, it puts a new tool in your hand, a new diamond tool. It just makes it out of thin air. So I didn't want that for the world. I want RPG um, stuff on for this world. It looks like I might have enabled, yeah, just action stuff in RPG. Because and maybe uncrafting. I might have to go and review the files, but those two things, main thing. I like uh actions and stuff because I mean it just makes the game look a lot better. For some reason I can't get the settings to work where I have to load into the world and then tweak them. The settings won't be changed and like stay locked as is. So I just had to mess around with this for a few minutes. Um but I got it working because I want the game to mostly look like normal. I don't like it to look very I don't know. The texture should look soft. I like the I think it's a 16 by 16 texture. Is what the game normally runs at. But I love the shaders, like the way the water looks and the way the lighting is. I love the advanced shaders that it got. Pretty good spawn. Right into a village. I mean, like, oop, need to search the blacksmith. Just grab some items. The first few minutes, I'm kind of just collecting loot. Looking around. I'm pretty aimless. I'm very excited to start a whole fresh world. I've wanted to do this. I want to do it every time I hop on Minecraft. I love the beginning part of the game always. But losing track of what I'm all saying. Okay, got actions and stuff makes the game look incredible. I also have that book. I don't really look at it until later on in the video, but when you look at the book, it shows all the skills that you have because I have an RPG mod or add-on, I guess I should say, enabled for this world, which it adds so many different skills into the game. I have not really looked that far into it, but there's a whole class system. So, for instance, like um, there's like one for mining, there's one for chopping down trees, one for exploring, things like that. I chose to be unclassed because, or I think it's unclassed, where I'm not focusing on any specific one. They all have some benefit to them, but sometimes they'll lock the benefits away from other skills that you like gain experience for. So I just wanted an all around good thing, no additional perks other than just like the base performance. So if I ever mine something, I get experience for those. If I chop down trees, I get experience for that. Walking around the world, always getting experience. The main stuff for mining, eventually, I'm gonna unlock the ability to mine faster by I think it's like triple right clicking. You can also detect ores at a certain level, and then break a 3 by 3 square for this one. I use it in a previous world. So much fun, especially if you like switch between them really fast because you can only use one ability at a time. But if you toggle it real fast, I can make it where I have a little bit of haste, and then I do that 3 by 3 mining grid, and you can just blaze through stuff. For chopping down trees, it's really good because you're able to automatically replant saplings as you cut them down. Another good handy thing that you have is being able to chop down a whole tree every single time. For the most part, it seems like if it's anything that has to do with collecting, you can always, with each additional level that you get, you're gonna have that potential to earn bonus loot. So just essentially fortune for everything, which is really nice. Um, for exploring, the benefits are a little, you know, uh, for the first one, it's like you get a little bit of speed, which I honestly never really used when I first was messing around with this, but I think I'm gonna try and remember to utilize it. In order to toggle some of those things, I think the um, with the exploration one, you have to hold a saddle in your hand, or something else, a saddle or a boat, and you like right click or whatever in your hand to trigger whatever skill you have enabled for it. So I might have to start like it's definitely gonna change my playstyle if I'm collecting all these different skills as I level up. Um, where I'm gonna just have like an item that you wouldn't normally have. I think another one that is an exploration that I actually used a good amount. I don't need to worry about food, basically. Um, because if you hold leather and you enable that skill, it will give you saturation, which I don't know if any of you guys watching will know what saturation is. Basically, it's the amount of hunger that you have. So it completely restores your saturation for a few seconds. So it makes it so easy to get like full health. The cooldown is like a minute or so, but I mean, I will still have some food on me. I mean, it's a hardcore world, but I feel like at some point I should just, always have leather on me. So that's something I remember that I'll need to keep track of. Um, as for this, I'm not really commenting too much on like the gameplay so far. I'm kind of just looking around. I haven't got a huge goal in mind. I'm just looking at the village. I see some bookshelves. I want to collect those because it's always good to have. Um, those it saves time. I'm one of those kind of people that, for the most part, every single world I create, I always want to get the strongest setup possible. Ooh, Nether portal, like so cool. It's a village. There's another portal. I mean a blacksmith. I spawned right next to a blacksmith. Like what the heck is this? I mean, it technically is the second world I've like loaded in, maybe the third on my new computer, but like, dang, this is good. Um, so I'm like looting around and stuff, but for the most part, this first video is like really chill. I don't really have any goals in mind other than just like, ooh, yay, new computer. Man, the game looks really cool. Um, I'm gonna try and start recording some videos. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna really reach any audiences because who knows? I'm I don't know how. I might be talking too fast. Maybe not clearly enough. We'll see. Um, but this is something I've always wanted to do, and I'm very excited to be able to have this ability to do that because I've been working at my current job for a few months now. I recently made a job change and stuff, and I've been saving up and I wanted to treat myself a little. So I bought a new PC, got it all set up, and I mean, it's running incredible. I tried playing Fortnite the other day. My ping is not great on that, but man, the game looks beautiful. Um, this, it, no complaints on how it runs. It's awesome. It's just I need to tweak the settings for how the game looks to make sure it looks how I want it to because there's no complaints on how it runs. If I can get it looking as good as possible, I might as well do that. So this will be my starter house right here. I'm not a good builder, so in this video I'm not gonna build. I'm literally kind of just getting my bearings. I'm gonna just set up. This is my home. I really like since actions and stuff. allows me to just have the water looking so nice. This is one of my favorite things. And then like the sun, just the lighting. This is just a perfect area to base. So I might as well stay here. I forgot how to craft, or I forgot how many wood is needed to create a chest. So I was struggling there for a minute. I like to keep my items pretty organized. I tried to do that here. It's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some getting used to. Um, I think for now, I'm gonna call it quits, and I'm going to stop my audio recording. I'm gonna pick back up. I'm going to edit some of this down, and we'll see what comes out. Super cool transition. Done. We're back. I didn't do too much. Just honestly organize my chest. Chop down a whole house that kind of just I wanted to like that's right outside the house. To the left, it's the very first house closest to mine. Um, Destroyed that because I was waiting for night to fall, and I was like, I wanna do something. I'm very frantically. Few times I'm like, oh man, the sun has to be done. It has to be done. No, the day wasn't over yet. I'm just being on hardcore is so stressful. But I decided at this point, I cut to this area because I wanted to showcase when I actually started to decide what I'm going to be doing. So I do a checklist of 3 items, and I do them in order. So the first thing I want to do is collect 9 whole stacks of wood. I was thinking throughout the whole time, do I want to even do 9 stacks of oak wood? Maybe throw in some birch. Throughout, I chopped down some birch wood, but I didn't count it as the 9 stacks. It's always good to just have a good amount of wood on hand. So this is just me kind of preparing for the future because this whole recording is an hour 20, hour 30 minutes condensed down because there's a lot of stuff that's just really repetitive that I left out. So you'll see my level kind of jump a little bit. My skills will jump because yeah, I chopped down a ton of wood. I mean, 9 stacks is the most thing. 3 stacks of copper, every single type of ore, even stone will kind of give me experience. If you mine cobblestone, it doesn't really give you experience for mining, um, because I guess it just doesn't count that because I mean it is kind of more man-made, and then dirt doesn't give any experience. But I just need more dirt because I started a tiny little farm, uh, for crops because that's another skill I need to level up. It's just something handy to have because I get better perks with every single thing I do in this game. So I want to just get kind of organized, have some resources on hand that I can use. I'm thinking I want to use the copper to kind of decorate the area a bit. That would be really fun. Uh, Other than that, I put a whole chest down. That's where I'm going to put all the items that I collect in this journey. And after this, I get to chopping wood. Other than that, the long-term goals for the village, man, so many ideas, so little skill to execute them. But hey, I'm going to progress here. I'm gonna get better at building. Maybe redstone. I don't know. Bedrock edition isn't the best, the most reliable thing to be doing redstone. I might be using more copper tools frequently. That's another reason why I wanted the copper for decoration, but also just tools because it's one step above stone, but it's so abundant that it's a lot, you know, it's faster to use than stone, but iron is not that convenient sometimes because I'm trying to play it real safe. I want to stay as close as possible to spawn, as close as possible to a bed. I know I can keep a bed anywhere, but it's just easiest that way. So now, just heading over. I need to start chopping down that whole little forest over there. I already began a little bit, as you can see, but just chopping down every single tree in sight. I'm really annoyed to do like the tall ones. Like yes, man, they give a ton of wood, but it's kind of annoying to chop them down because you have to look for every single little block because if not, then yep, you're leaving leaves floating around the air. But the main thing is chopping down all those trees. It took a good amount of time. So after that, I did have uh like a few cool moments back to back. Good, bad, I don't know. Just kind of quirky that I thought were kind of notable in this time. So I was chopping down after a few stacks. I got on top of a tree. I decided to get all the way to the top of this little area just to see what I'm working with. And it turns out I'm on an island, kind of, sort of looking thing. So that could be something for the goals. I want to make the village look cooler. I want to keep it secure. Light up the whole place. That would be so cool. I see this cow. Who knows what's happened with this thing? I put it out of its misery, as you should. Um, and then I just get back to work. I'm focused. I'm chopping down trees. After I, fell down and took damage, do I heal? No, no. Who hardcore? Psh, that doesn't matter to me. It's nothing bad could ever happen to me. Nothing bad. When is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? It's gonna happen soon. I was like, wow, really? I'm nearly. I was probably 40 minutes in at this point, and it just 3 hearts. Luckily, like the fire went out real fast, but you can see on the screen. I don't know if you noticed, you get experience for taking fire damage. There's a skill or a whole like class or whatever called Pyromaniac. I haven't really looked into it. I should do that because I mean that's kind of cool. So that's something I need to do. But it has its own skills associated with it. If you get hit with creeper explosions, taking damage like that, if you get burned, it kind of depends on the duration, I think, and also just how much damage. So that's cool. I'm very happy I found that golden apple in the ruin portal. I need to get better at not saying and it'll come. But I'm definitely made to use or put to use all those copper axes. I think I ended up with like 1.5 left or something like that. So I didn't really have to craft anymore. All the copper I collected, I really just saved for next episode, next session. I might play more than an hour next session because it just kind of makes sense to just progress as much as possible. It's fine if I cut a lot out. Most people don't show everything, so it's whatever. It's hardcore. Believe if I believe it if you want. Don't if you don't. I don't care. This is my series. It's whatever. At this point, speaking of being a little cheaty, ooh, what? I'm like flying around? Nah. This is just something that the RPG add-on adds. I don't know if it's like I think that's something that you unlock once you hit like maybe level 5 or something in exploration. I could be wrong. But you have the ability to double jump now, which is really cool. I was trying to put to use that one skill I mentioned earlier, where if you have a boat or a saddle in your hand, you can make yourself go a little bit faster for that exploration skill. Unfortunately, I don't have those. Didn't want to craft one. I know you can craft the saddles now. Obviously, a boat would be easy. Just didn't feel like doing it because the speed boost is just so it's unnecessary. But yet I did navigate to that menu a few times to get that done. Um, to give me that speed boost temporarily, but I was having fun jumping around. That's something that's not even it's just always active. I don't have to enable it, but you can enable any skills from the book. It's just a little tedious, but that's one of the things I did where I would for like the mining one in my one world, I was clearing out this really big area. So I would just kind of hot swap between them, but I couldn't like do the shortcut for it, because if you're holding a tool, like if I hold my pickaxe, I can do the shortcut for one specific skill. But if you use the book, you can just switch between them. Another skill I haven't touched on, sorcery. If you collect lapis or you like enchant, that levels that up. So definitely something that would be fun to do. I was really, really hoping for a trident from this thing because I did have one on a previous world. I usually have pretty good luck with these things, but no, just wasn't my day, I guess. But um, yeah, I had to hurry up, kill that. There was a point where I wasn't able to sleep because uh, there's just drown always in the area, so definitely something I need to look out for. Probably worth investing in some like lanterns in the water. Might be pretty useful to have on hand. Other than that, uh, I don't know. Just spawn proofing. It's a hardcore world. I'm never too careful. That's another reason why I want it to be hardcore. If this is going to be a series, then there's replayability. There's going to be an end. Whether I die or I reach my goals, which more often than not, I feel like I reach my goals and then it kind of just plateaus after that. I always like to get completely situated. I have a World on Java edition where I have this really good villager trading hall. They're not like efficient or anything in terms of like I turned them into zombies, cured them, made their trades cheap, but I have like most every enchant in the game, or the ones that matter. Like for my armor, it's like maxed out. For all my tools, maxed out. I got efficiency 5, so unnecessary. Mending, unbreaking 3, uh, protection 4. Don't really have thorns. I think I have it as an option, of course, but if you transform mobs, it's kind of annoying to like use. You can see flashing on the screen a little bit. I have Swift Step unlocked, so that's what the first one's called, and then the other ones are kind of, I think it was a level 15 or maybe 10, and the last one's 20, 25, something like that. It's unlocked. It'll show up on screen again. Let's see real quick. But as far as I know, all the skills are pretty much the same in terms of like the level that you unlock, the different additional things. So yeah, 10, 20, 30 kind of seems to be where it's at. I think some of them might be 25, but each skill can be leveled up like a couple times, maybe 3 times, 4 times. I don't know, a few times. Some of them increasing their like potency and duration, and other ones is just decreasing the cooldown between them. Most of them is like you don't really have to wait that long, like a minute between, so you can basically be active a good amount of the time. Others are passively always on, like I mean, one of the passive benefits is like I mentioned earlier, whenever you gain levels for these things, they kind of boost your chances of getting additional items. So fortune, and that can be for anything, not just ores. So I'm done collecting all my wood. Finally, leveling up mining a little bit too. So that's pretty handy. That might be something I want to invest in too. Besides building in the next episode, is just focusing on the skills because it does take a good minute to level up the stuff. But different types of ores give different boosts of experience. So stone, kind of the worst thing really. Netherrack might be worse. I think it levels it up as well, but if I'm collecting a ton of coal, a ton of copper, it shouldn't take me long to get to the mid-range levels. Level 30 for those might take a minute. Another thing that's really handy is real experience that you can earn for enchants. Like I'm level 10 right now in just normal vanilla Minecraft. Sometimes if you get like pretty high up on the skills, they start earning you experience for like the wood. That's something else that's just passive, I think. Some of them you have to enable, but others it's like just passive. So maybe even crops, I'm pretty sure. For farming, that'll give me experience too, which is pretty cool. So kind of having to scour here a little bit of all the surfaces. Luckily, there's good range pretty close to me of areas that are just made of stone, so I can pick away at all that copper that's near me. I think I'm nearing the end of this recording. What is it? We're sitting at around 25-ish minutes, so 5 minutes left. Honestly, I didn't think I would run out of things to talk about, but I kind of have. uh, let's see. Cool. Oh, transition. Another transition there. I made a smoker because I decided I'm broke. I need to eat. Okay. So I might as well have every type of furnace. I think I don't have a normal furnace right now, but I got the smoker. I got the blast furnace from, this villager's home that I took over. Done with the copper. I'm not going to worry about fully smelting that. That's unnecessary. But I collected it, okay? I collected it. That part's done. Smelting isn't going to take any time at all. Now that's all that's left is the dirt. After that, I'm going to be needing to focus on extending those crops. Maybe terraforming the mountain a little bit. Or, like, not really even mountain, my island, just that hilly area to make the village a little bit more accessible. I never collected any of that hay. I've been eyeing it for like a long time, and I should have collected it, but I was lazy because of course I changed what was in my hot bar, and then it's so tedious to go back and retrieve the hoe that I just left in my chest. So it's like, man, why bother? At one point, I chopped or collected some pumpkins. I think earlier on when I was chopping down. It was after I chopped down trees. It might even be within this time. I think I cut it out though. Point is, chop down a lot of pumpkins with like a shovel or something or a pickaxe. I used my bare hand for a bit, but I'm pretty sure even though if it's the wrong tool, it might increase how fast you mine it by. It's pretty negligible, so it doesn't really do much. But I'm trying to preserve the environment here because I flatten out my lands way too much. I keep it pretty boring. I want to leave this area a little hilly, but I already flattened out an area because I demolished a whole villager's home so that I could just flatten it out and then build just crop farms kind of in that little area. But I want to preserve this village. I want to preserve the curviness, hilly bit of the island. I don't want to make it perfectly flat like I normally do. That's just way too boring. It doesn't have much life to it, so I need to find a way to incorporate my build to make them kind of wind and stuff. Of course, love how I can build stuff on the water. Gonna make the stuff float or whatever, but I need to change the way that I play the game. So I have now officially reached my goal. I collected 9 stacks of wood, 3 stacks of copper, and 3 stacks of dirt. Honestly, could have done a lot more dirt. Maybe I should have used copper tools. Those would have been faster. But hey, I'll get better over time. So thank you all for watching. It's been really fun to record this first episode of a whole new series, and I can't wait to share more with you guys. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe.